all of them.
Okay, we are recording. OMG. What a night. What a day. Um, welcome everyone. I don't know who is on because I can only see my panelist. So it does say 8 participants. Oh, okay. No, well, that's weird. Oh, 3 attendees. Okay. Hi, Elaine and Judy and Lita. Nice to see you guys. I see you in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I am Patty Lach Daigle, and I'll just let everybody just say hi real quick. Dara.
Hi, I'm Dara Lee Simmons.
I'm Laura Enzor.
Hi, I'm Jazzy Will.
I'm Carolyn Williams.
And we thank you all for joining us tonight on our first go around at our journey to wellness. And we'd like to do this once a month and looking forward to sharing different things with you. So I'll go ahead and start, and I am supposed to introduce Laura. And of course, I probably lost my what I was supposed to say about Laura. Laura is just a gem of a woman. She is a reinvention coach. She's a mom. She's a previous dancer and a workaholic. But she's a beautiful woman inside and out. And I just want you to hear her, not me. So here is Laura Enzor.
Well, thank you, Patty. I'm really excited to start out our webinar, and I can't see the faces of the people that joined, but I know you're here because we see you in the chat. So I'm going to start us off talking about something besides green smoothies and yoga pants and meditation. Even though I love all those things and they are part of my self-care routine. But I want to talk about our inner flame, choices, and hidden commitments that are responsible for many of the disempowering choices that you make or you don't make. So I'm all about the mind, body, spirit approach when it comes to health, or when it comes to my health, at least. But most of my adult life, my wellness was a bit, I'm going to say, lopsided. I was heavily focused just on my physical strength, fitness, being a mom, and a supportive wife. I was a fitness professional for 28 years, and I was dedicated to helping people achieve weight loss and their fitness goals while being the best wife, mother, friend, hostess, and employee I could be. So I felt on fire and unstoppable in those years. And until I would be challenged with many location moves with my family of 3. And we did that for my husband's career, which would then become a total of 11 moves within 18 years. So some of the moves were even overseas. And I was living an exciting life, but a high cortisol lifestyle. I learned about the missing puzzle piece of my wellness journey the hard way. So if you skim the bios and you know that I'm a life reinvention coach for women over 40, and I'm a trained shadow work and boundary expert, and I bring years of life experience, coach training, while also providing life-changing concepts and practices to help my clients step into the spotlight of their lives so they can confidently curate a life that sets their soul on fire, one powerful choice at a time. So at age 50, my fitness career was stolen right out from under my feet due to a Lyme disease diagnosis, when my body just finally said, enough. As you can imagine, I was not a happy camper at the time. The joint pain, the brain fog, lethargy, heavy leg syndrome, anxiety, it was all a struggle. And I didn't really know who I was anymore without those daily activities that used to define me. This new change caused me to generate negative thought loops that would play on repeat inside my mind. So we had negative Nellie, woe is me Wendy, and comparison Connie that were guests at my daily pity parties. I had lots of head trash to sort through, tinctures to take, and protocols to follow. However, Lyme disease might have taken me down, but ultimately it fueled my rise. my illness became, I'd say, a wake-up call to slow down and really look at how I was living my life. At first, I struggled to see any positivity in Lyme disease, really. But with the help of a breakthrough shadow coach, my vision of what was possible expanded. And eventually, I would learn that what I struggled with the most was set in stone many, many years ago. It would explain how I went from fitness queen to feeling physically, emotionally, and spiritually depleted. So to be honest, I couldn't have helped getting bit by a tick, but I'm sure that being the ultimate people pleaser and overachiever and all the moving I did compromised my immune system, which would help the disease flourish. So the connection between your mind, emotions, and how it affects your inner flame was the missing puzzle piece to my wellness journey. So, us women, we've spent a lot of years tracking children, spouses, yellow labs, lost water bottles, but have forgotten about ourselves and the importance of connecting to our inner guidance and checking in with our emotions and managing them well. We've often kept resentment under wraps, felt it was good and right to put others first. We've resisted complaining too much about hot flashes, ho-hum intimacy, and bad sleep. But when we find ourselves in the messy middle and we're confronted with even more aging parents, hormonal changes, perhaps a divorce, loss in all its forms, the career, identity, or people type loss, is kind of like why most people refer to this time of our lives as a midlife crisis, right? Lots of things are happening, but I call it an opportunity for a midlife awakening. And here's why. After working with my coach, I focused on myself and learned that my emotional health was equally as important as my physical health. For so long, I had thought if no one could hear the negative voices in my head, it wasn't really affecting my life. I started to see what was blocking me from moving forward, and my flame went from smoldering to roaring. My health started to improve, and I was able to cope better living inside my new reality. I started to awaken to my own inner guidance and became the protector of my energy. I guarded my flame fiercely and fed it often. So picture this. Every choice you make, every thought you have either feeds your flame, makes it roar, or dampens it, leaving it a mere flicker. And when your flame burns really bright, you radiate confidence and clarity. You have the courage to speak your truth and chase those dreams that you tucked away. But when that flame dwindles, you can feel lost and vulnerable. Self-doubt could creep in and negativity may take over. You start settling for less, not having any energy to make decisions, and convincing yourself that your dreams are just dreams. And when your flame is dwindled, you may even experience fatigue, digestive issues, and unexplained aches and pains. And studies show that chronic stress and negative emotions trigger the release of cortisol, a hormone that in excess wreaks havoc on your body. And it can suppress your immune system, disrupt your sleep, and contribute to weight gain and heart disease. You may have noticed how a stressful day leaves you feeling physically drained, or how resentment and bitterness eats away at you. That's the power of your thoughts and emotions. They shape your reality, and the negative thoughts actually weigh you down. They're like anchors. So our emotions affect our choices, and our choices affect how healthy our inner flame is. How strong is your inner flame? Is it roaring, medium, small, or sputtering? So tuning into our needs and desires starts with self-awareness and recognizing the choices that are dimming your flame or fanning the flames. So instead of allowing yourself to mindlessly move through your days, trust me, I was a mindless mover, albeit productive. I did try to be more mindful in my 30s and 40s by reading self-help books, but failed to fully implement, and I would just fall back into my old habits. You see, I never received the How to Live Your Best Life manual on how to navigate life's most difficult twists and turns. Did any of you? Because I haven't met anybody yet. So I started to notice what dampened my flame. Things like hanging around people who thought I wasn't really sick because I didn't look sick, or they didn't care enough to learn about what Lyme disease was. It really dragged me down, and I felt hurt and I felt hopeless. And then I thought about how I was always trying to please everyone. And I noticed my tendency to not want to rock the boat, ruin the night, and I just preferred keeping peace at all costs. I realized that all the emotions I pushed down or held back stayed inside my body. Another situation that was dimming my flame. And all the times I was trying to get other people's approval was another flame dimmer. Like how I used to run in to save the day and teach the 4:30 aerobics with my 2-year-old in tow after already have taught 2 to 3 classes that day. But I loved hearing from my employer, Laura, I don't know what I'd do without you. And that filled me with pride, with good enoughness, and I thrived on the praise. So I'm going to say it again. Our emotions affect our choices, and our choices reflect the health of our inner flame. Just like overspending, overeating, overindulging, not setting strong boundaries, overexhausting yourself, and all our other ways that we dim our flame. So, many of us are living from sputtering to medium flame, but we want to live from medium to a roaring flame. And you probably already notice how lifted and upbeat you feel when you acknowledge you've done something well, when you've had time to rest, when you share a belly laugh with a friend, you exercise, you eat well, you spend your money wisely, you're honest with yourself, and you might even go out of your way to make sure you tell others how much they mean to you. I've learned on my personal growth journey that forgiving yourself and others for past grievances is powerful. Taking responsibility for your own life and looking for what's good and looking for what's right, or speaking your truth by saying no when you really mean it, all has the ability to keep the flames stoked. So why don't we take this seriously? It really does make a difference in how we experience life. But I know life just gets in the way. So when our flames are weak, we don't have the defenses to fight off disease, doubt, worry, self-loathing, addiction, or criticism. And when our flames are low, we look to others to feed our fires because we haven't stoked them ourselves. We all need to tend our flame because nobody wins if we leave our flame unattended. So if you struggle with keeping your dreams alive, following through with what you say you want, or crave more peace and possibilities in your life, removing the hidden blocks that may be causing your bad habits and poor choices is crucial if you want to keep your inner flame roaring. I'm talking about something that is hidden below the surface. And we've all been victims to saying, I'll start Monday. I'll work on my weight loss when Sarah goes to college. There's too much going on right now. We've all said those words. So we can start by becoming conscious of the choices that we're making because the 4-year-old inside of us wants to make the choices and run the show. But instead of using your mood map to make decisions, it's helpful to use your vision map. It's much more rewarding in the end. And as a rule, if we're more focused on long-term fulfillment rather than short-term gratification, we will get to where we want to go and experience the fulfillment, joy, and abundance we crave. You see, it all lies in the quality of the choices, and it absolutely makes the difference. It's what sets great athletes apart from the rest. They accept the sacrifices that training demands from them because they have their eye on the prize. They are being guided by their vision map. The hidden block I'm talking about that could be preventing you from thriving and making the best choices for you can be attributed to what I refer in my coaching process as hidden commitments. So if we can see that our outer world is a reflection of our inner world, and we want to know what we're really committed to, we just have to look at our lives. And we are, whether we're aware of it or not, always creating exactly what we're most committed to. And it's important to understand that the choices we make are always in alignment with our deepest commitments. And when our lives aren't the way we want them to be, it's due to having a conflicting hidden commitment to something other than what we say we're committed to. Kind of mind-blowing. So it hasn't been your fault all this time. You can stop beating yourself up for not sticking to that diet last year. Most of us live our lives not knowing we have these commitments, and they're called hidden commitments or underlying commitments, and they exist in the unconscious level. So I didn't have a clue either until I worked with a shadow coach. And these hidden commitments are our first commitments. And if they're not made conscious, they will override any other desire. So our underlying commitments drive our thoughts, beliefs, and our choices. They're unseen forces that shape our reality and dictate the intensity of our inner flame. The coaching exploration I experienced provided me with great insight on how I came to be, why I think what I think, and why I acted the way I did. And that has been a game changer. I healed my heart, and I'm no longer feeling a sense of spiritual poverty. It has brought me to a new level of contentment in my life, a feeling that was quite elusive before. And this is the personal growth work I do every day with my clients. And I help women just like you heal, reclaim your power, and lean into a life that fuels your flame, so you can find joy in the next half of the journey. And, you know, my reinvention coaching process is a step-by-step progress. And I meet you right where you're at, and we create your vision map. And you'll learn practices and tools to navigate life with more confidence, certainty, and positivity. My daughter is getting married next year, and then I hope to be a grandma soon after that. And I want to be energetic, available, healthy, and vibrant. That's part of my vision map. Because, you know, Stella didn't get her groove back by staying quiet or just hanging in there. She took a leap and made some different choices. So to wrap this up, ladies, the health of your inner flame is everything. It's about making intentional choices every day to fan the flames. And by identifying your underlying commitments, you'll be able to keep your inner fire stoked and unravel the most magnificent version of yourself. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Laura. That was fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate you letting me speak tonight. So I'm going to introduce the next speaker, Carolyn Williams. It's a three-part. I don't remember that. And you know a few things about the greatest and the latest in skincare. So take it away, Carolyn.
Thank you very much for that great introduction. But oh my gosh, to have listened to you is so powerful. That was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a senior manager with Reinvention, which is a South Korean K-beauty industry, which is really taking hold in the USA. It's only been in the USA for less than a year, probably 8 months. And I have been in skincare for over 20 years. Of course, we're all with our skin. We're all taking care of our skin and everything. But our skin is our largest organ on our body. And a lot of us do not want and think about taking good care of it. And this is the first time I've been like this, so beware. I'm trying to get it on right. But I want to try to explain some of the product that I have. I'm going to do a small facial and show you how well the products do. But just the life-changing events that have a great appearance, a glow on your skin, comes from the inside of you with your health too. And I've been doing natural supplements for 5 years, and they've helped me a lot. I've had a DNA study done, and eating right is helping my skin maintain a lot better. At 79 years old, I know my skin's not as beautiful as a 50-year-old. And I thought I looked old then, but oh my gosh, but I'm working on it, and I just love the results. And also we have hair product that amazing results in the people that I'm affiliated with in Remon. And myself, I had cancer surgery on my scalp. And within 4 months, my hair was already 2 or 3 inches long, where they had to shave it and everything. And I just had an appointment with my hairdresser, and she said, "Oh my gosh, your hair is improving so much." And it's just, the Remon products are from let me see, it's called the giant, Byung Pool waters, and it's a plant that they grow, and they call it a tiger plant also. And it was named that because if the tigers were in a fight or and they were wounded, they would find these tiger plants and roll in it, and they would be healed, and their wounds would be just good again. And then we have Jeju lava water that is in all of our products. These plants and this water is in all of our products. It's a plant-based product, and I have a video that Patty's going to put on for us, so it explains a lot more. And at that time, I'll come back and do a little mini skin cleanse and show you all how well it works.
Ready?
Yes.
Here in the Enzor Byungpool lab, we work with elements provided by nature. Among the many gifts of nature, the Earth's energy provides a capacity to purify. That capacity is enriched in the plant Centella asiatica, also known as Byungpool in Korea. The size of the leaf, the direction of the root, soil temperature, and cultivation method. Every aspect is analyzed. Plants are grown for 45 days until they brim with life's energy. Only freshly harvested Korean Byungpool plants are used as ingredients for Inselter. Another key ingredient is the pristine lava seawater from Jeju Island. For over 400,000 years, the volcanic rock beds of Jeju have borne the ocean's energy, instilled into its deep waters. That water is infused at the optimal temperature of 80 degrees Celsius for 20 hours to slowly and gently extract the essential fluids from the Byungpool leaves. Those fluids are at the core of the brightening and purifying energy delivered by Inselter. We present to you Byungpool Energy Fluid.
Is that it?
The hypoallergenic fluid boosts the skin cell regeneration cycle by providing optimal benefits with the booster serum booster ritual. The booster opens the way for moisture to enter and awaken the skin's radiance. Then the serum aligns the skin barrier to enhance the glow. And the final layer booster ingrains glow and resilience deep into your skin. With this routine, your skin will gain the glow-lifting effects. Radiate the glow of youth from deep inside your skin cells with Enzor.
Okay.
Are you back?
No, no. Where am I?
Okay.
There I am. Okay, I'm so sorry. The video that we have for that is a continuing thing. It sounds a lot better than what we just had up. But like Patty said, this is our first wellness webinar, and we're wanting to share with everyone to tell everybody what we are enjoying. And so I wanted to do a mini. And the first thing I'm going to use is a Enzor. It's a cleansing oil. And the South Koreans believe in double cleansing. And they don't believe in a lot of the things that we do as Americans. They want to protect and prevent things from happening to your skin and to your body. And that's their heritage. So I just put a little oil on my hand and rub it on my cheek. God, I'm not going to do the whole face. And I just had somebody tell me that it takes off her waterproof mascara, and mine's waterproof also. So we'll see if it works. It works for me. I do this morning. I do it in the morning and I do it in the evening. And I've seen a big change with my skin. But when I was in my 40s, the only thing I ever used was soap and water and a washcloth, not knowing that it would come back and kick me in the butt later in life. And then after this, I used the Snow Enzyme Cleaner EX. And it reminds you of snow. It's like a pearl size on your hand. That was enough to cover my whole neck and shoulders and everything. Then,
Shoulders, knees, and toes.
this is like, and then you add a little water to it. I forgot to have a lot on it. It's usually not this white. And the ingredients are all natural. They're plant-based, hypoallergenic. And I noticed when I'm washing my face, like in the shower or anything, I noticed the softness, like baby skin. And I'm really shocked that that's what's happening. And 3 times a week, I use the active cleanup. I don't know if you can see these or not. It's a powder, and you put it in your hand, and it's like it's just a soft exfoliating powder, and you wouldn't even know. And sometimes I mix these two together and make a little exfoliating thing, keep it on for about an hour, and it works really well. And then at that time, I do the calming balancing gel. It's like the same person that's using the product that I talk to a lot. She said, I put it on my sore and it healed up real fast. So I did it on mine. And then I've done it on my bruise. when you get older, you get thin skinned. I was told I was thin skinned all my life anyway, so now I am thin skinned. So now put this over and it like takes the redness out. And I just had eyelid surgery. And so my eyelids were not healing up without showing the big scars and red and everything. And this has helped neutralize that. And then we have a Veton. You probably think this is really taking a long time. It's taking a long time because I'm trying to explain and talk to y'all. But then you put this Veton oil mist on your face. And it seals everything in. Got that. And then I do all these products are good for all types of skin. If it's dry, if it's the T-zone oil, which I used to have very oily skin. And then if it's for acne, there's a test you can take and figure out which products to get. There's one for the aging skin like mine that I use in the evening. I use these in the morning, and I use the Radiant Some 100, which is a heavier moisturizing. But most of the ones I'm using right now are water-based. This is called the C-Boost. It's a booster, serum, and booster. You put the booster on first. And then you wipe up. I try to do my ears because as we age, our ears get really wrinkled too. And then we let it dry. Usually let it dry. Being retired, you can do things slowly sometimes. and I'm going to get married in less than a month. Yes, can you believe that? Okay. And so then at that time, you put like 5 drops of the serum, which is called the booster serum, and rub it in and then let it dry. Now I love it on my eyes. It feels so good. And then when it dries, you do your spray booster again. So they call this Goosey Boo. And then when that dries, it's a 7-step process, which it works so well. I've seen so many men and women with beautiful skin where they've had not acne, roseola, and different skin problems, and it's cleared it all up.
Rosacea.
Yes, rosacea. I knew you. Somebody said that. Thank you. Oh man, I didn't let that last booster dry.
That's okay.
But then I have an Active X, and it's a lighter weight, water-based moisturizer. And then that's the completion of the day. If you want to leave it that way, they have a sorry, my nose itches now because I put too much moisturizer on it. It's a BB cream that you put over it. And a lot of people use that anymore instead of the foundation that's very heavy and hard to let your skin breathe. But another thing, you need to wash your face in the evenings before you go to bed and put from all the outside forces of pollution and everything, and just clean it and let it breathe and regenerate itself in the evenings. And I could turn the camera around and show you all my products I have sitting on here. I don't know if I can do it, but we will do more webinars and I'll show you more and I'll be better. But it's an awesome product. And I know we all use skincare. And I thank you very much. And I want to introduce my next speaker. If you have any questions, we're taking questions at the end, I think, where you can write them in. I'm introducing Jazzy Will. She's going to dive into how to unlock your mental wellness. I'm doing all this for fun. I'm doing it for my mental state, but I love what we're getting through this wellness webinar too. but Jassie's a certified medical coach and holistic, which I love, wellness leader. And she's really focusing on gut health, which we all would really need to understand that a lot more. Anyway, Jazzy, we're anxious to hear you, and I thank you all for listening to me.
Oh, thank you, Carolyn. I love that. Oh my
Thank you.
gosh, that was so wonderful. I just, you know, your face is just like glowing.
That's what they say. Everybody's face is so glowing. Thank you.
It does. It does. And when you said you're 79 years old, my mouth just about hit the floor. I was like, oh, that's amazing. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
That's what happens when you take care of yourself. I will, that's just a perfect example right there, right there. So anyway, hey, everybody, you know what? I'd love to have some interaction going on here. If you are, whether you're a panelist or an attendee, what I would like to have you do is drop where you are tuning in from tonight in the chat box. If you would, please. I'm just kind of curious as to where everybody is coming from. I am coming from the Cornhusker State, the state of Nebraska. And my husband and I almost live right smack dab in the middle of the United States. And like Carolyn said, I'm here to talk about mental health and wellness tonight. And I know, guys, you're probably going, no, I don't, we don't want to see it. We don't want to hear about it. We don't want to talk about it. But you all, you know what? This is such a huge, diverse topic. And for a long time, it has been a taboo topic. It has been something that, we weren't allowed to talk about. And I'm going to share a little bit about that in my own story. But, here's the thing. We are hearing more and more and more about it in society nowadays, and we're seeing more about it, and it is actually becoming one of the largest growing topics in society nowadays. And so there is an awareness, and I'm here to help create an awareness. Here's why. Lots of people actually struggle with their mental health and wellness, and they don't even realize that it is connected to their mental health. Let me give you an example. Sometimes people just feel like off a little bit, or they don't have energy, or they, they're struggling with just being happy. Guys, that is all related to our mental health and wellness. And it's really important that we are aware of that. So let me take a moment to introduce myself. Like Carolyn said, I am actually a certified mental health coach, and I am a food first specialist. And my story actually starts way back, as far back as I can remember. And the reason that I have such a passion for mental health and wellness, because I have struggled so severely with my own mental health over the years. It hasn't been a consistent ongoing thing, but there have been so many times in my life that I could not get off the couch. I couldn't even breathe. I would lay on the couch and I felt like I had this heavy cloud hanging over my head and that I was being suffocated to death. And there were times that I even landed in the hospital with physical symptoms, not knowing that it was actually all a part of my own mental health journey. So this is why I am so passionate about it. And guys, you know what? I am going to also say that as we age, our mental health has a way of deteriorating faster than when we're younger. And so I work very hard to create an actual awareness as far as that is concerned as well. So, I just wanted to touch, I don't want to take up a whole lot of time tonight because I want these amazing women to share what they've got to share tonight, because they are they're an absolute fabulous group. I am so honored to be able to share this stage with them tonight. But I do want to touch a little bit on a few things tonight. And one thing that I want to start with was a report that the Surgeon General released a few weeks back. It's maybe been about a month ago. And that is on how parenting is affecting mental health. And that is because our parents are so affected. Our parents, their mental health is in such a bad place nowadays because there's so many stressors of raising a child. There's so many pressures that we put on ourselves, and we're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and we're trying to, bring in the income, and we're trying to provide for our kids, and we're trying to be there for our kids. And so it's affecting the mental health of our parents. But we have to understand that that is also having this huge ripple effect. And that's kind of what that report actually talked about. Now, here is what I have studied toward all of this is what my concern is with all of this is, guys, we don't want this to become the norm, because it's not the norm. Being in these states of mind, struggling with our happiness, struggling with our resilience, struggling with our sense of calmness, our peace, guys, is not the way that we are meant to live. And I'm going to talk about a couple of things that will help you actually flip your mental wellness, or start actually on a better health journey toward improving your mental health and wellness, because that's not the norm. As we age, guys, we should not lose our lack of vitality and energy. There are things that are affecting that. And it's really powerful when we can take control of a few of those things. Here is something else that I wanted to share with you tonight. The Global Wellness Institute actually released a report about 2 months ago. And in this report, they had talked about, there were, excuse me, originally 5 areas of mental health and wellness. Well, in this report, they come out and they presented the fact that they have discovered that there are now 7 different diverse areas of mental health and wellness. And guys, I could literally talk about each and every one of these areas, because there is not one of them that should stand out. But guys, if there is even one of these pieces missing in your life, you will struggle with your mental health. I am a perfect example of that. Within my whole mental health and wellness journey, I was the one that thought I was doing everything right. I was exercising. I actually owned my own fitness center and health center for about 15 years. And so I was into physical fitness. I was into working out. I was into eating healthy. I taught a nutrition program. I was doing all of those things right. I was getting plenty of sleep, or as much as I possibly could get. I was using supplementation, but yet, guys, and I was also working on my mindset. I'm going to talk about these 7 areas in a second. I was working in all of these areas, yet I could not get my mental health right. And there were a couple of things that were affecting that. So the 7 areas now of mental health and wellness are actually supplementation, exercise, diet and nutrition, sleep, mindset, community, and our environment. And these are the 7 areas that will profoundly affect your mental health and wellness. And if 1 or 2 of these pieces are out of whack, guys, this is where you're going to find yourself struggling. For me, one of the pieces was my supplementation. I didn't have it on point. I didn't have it right. And that's one of the areas that I wanted to talk to you about tonight. Guys, that is supplementation. And I don't want to just talk about supplementation. I want to talk specifically about the relationship between your gut and your brain and the health and the way they communicate. So I want to talk a little bit about some terminology here. I know some of you guys have probably heard some of this stuff before. Let me go back here. I want to see in the chat box. So where's everybody tuning in from before I go any farther? Where are we coming in from? New Jersey, Florida. All right. Yay. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about. I want to throw some terminology out here at you. See if you know, have heard of some of these things. I can guarantee you that everybody on this call tonight has heard this first word, and that is probiotic, right? What is a probiotic? Drop in the box if you have heard, drop in number one, excuse me, in the box if you've heard about probiotics. How many of you have heard about probiotics? I know a few of you had, right? Yep, that's what I thought. Okay, here's my next question. I wanted you to drop a number two in the box if you are taking or have taken a probiotic. Yep. Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, because most of us have either heard from a friend or from someone or from a doctor, get yourself on a good probiotic. Now, here is my next question. I want you to drop a 3 in the box if you know exactly what the probiotic you are taking is designed to do. Okay, all right, I got you stumped, don't I? That's what I wanted to talk to you about tonight, is the fact, guys, that, not all probiotics are the same, right? So we've got our probiotics, we've got a prebiotic, and I want to go back to what a probiotic actually is. So what is a probiotic? It is the actual live bacteria that benefits your health by supporting something called your microbiome. And your microbiome is that ecosystem that lives in your gut, all right? So what is a prebiotic then? Because I'm sure you've heard of pre and probiotics. So a prebiotic is basically the food the probiotic eats to stay healthy. So it's important that you're getting both, that you're getting a probiotic and a prebiotic. Now, I'm going to throw a couple of maybe some new terminology that you've never heard. One is a symbiotic. And a symbiotic is when they combine a probiotic and a prebiotic and they put them in the same product. Now, I also want to talk a little bit about tonight something called a psychobiotic. And what a psychobiotic is it's a type of pre and or pro, they could be combined, biotic that actually affects the gut-brain relationship and how it can benefit your health, both mentally and physically. That is really kind of like where my area of expertise is in those psychobiotics. And like I said before, guys, if you take nothing else away from my talk tonight, I want you to remember this. Not all probiotics are the same. There is no way that a probiotic is the same. So when you go into the store and you pick up that little pre and probiotic package that you got from the store, there's that one that's sitting next to the next one is not the same because there are completely different strains of biotics in each of these. I also want you to be aware of the fact that quite contrary to marketing industry, what the marketing industry would like to have you believe, and we hear this all the time, oh, just go out and eat yogurt, guys. All right, in that little jar of yogurt, there is not enough what Dr. Gundry calls good gut buddies in there, in that little jar of yogurt, to actually help you feel alive and full of vitality. So there's more actual things in that little jar of yogurt. And I know everybody's like, oh, just go eat some yogurt. No, guys, you can't eat enough of the yogurt to actually give your gut what it needs to actually like help you feel better, help you feel more alive, help give you some more energy. But here's the thing, like I said, there are specific biotics out there that are designed to help your body do specific things. And I'm just going to give you a really quick example of this because this is something that I've just actually added to my biotic regimen. And that is an actual probiotic that has just one specific strain in it. So I just turned 62 about a week and a half ago. I've really been dedicating myself to doing more lifting, doing more strength training, doing more balance workouts, and I really have noticed the lactic acid affecting my body in not such good ways. So this probiotic that I've added to my regimen is a probiotic that is specifically designed. It has actually one strain of probiotic in it that is designed to help take the lactic acid in my body and convert it to energy. And I'll tell you, within about 10 days of taking this, I could tell a difference in my workouts. Guys, this is the thing that I want you to understand. These strains of probiotics that are out there are so specific and have gotten so specified that it's mind-blowing what they actually do. So when you stop and take a look at what a probiotic can actually do for you, don't just go out and purchase any probiotic, because let me tell you something, guys, getting on the right actual probiotic, getting on the right supplementation. And I know Patty is such a believer in all of this, and she's going to even help you understand more of this. But I know for a fact that getting on the right supplementation can completely change your life in so many ways. And like I said, I am more specified in something called psychobiotics, which are literally the biotic strains that are specifically designed, guys, to help the relationship between your gut and your brain and help them communicate. Because let me tell you what happens. When you're giving your gut the right pre and probiotics, your gut goes, hey, I'm feeling really good down here. And it sends a message up to your brain, and your brain goes, oh my gosh, this is different. We're feeling better. And it sends the message back down to your gut, and you get this communication going. And all of a sudden, you are more resilient. You find a calmer you. You find a happier you. You find a you that has more vitality, more energy, and more life to live. So guys, I just want to leave you with just one message tonight. And that is, Hippocrates said hundreds of years ago that all disease starts in the gut. So guys, I am begging you to start taking a serious look at how you can improve your gut health, because not only does it start there, but it ends there. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys tonight. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. I do have the honor and the privilege of getting to introduce our next speaker, Dara Lee Simmons. Oh my gosh, this lady, I'm telling you. Dara is a health and wellness coach specialized in helping women over 50 achieve sustainable weight and a healthier relationship with the food and movement. And ladies, she is fabulous. And Dara, I'm going to turn it over to you. Mwah.
Thank you, Jessie. That was awesome. Yeah, I
thank
didn't
you.
know all that about biotics. I knew, about prebiotics and probiotics, but yeah, you definitely gave us a lot to think about for sure. So thank you. And I want to talk about the 45 million Americans that go on a diet every single year, and 95% of them gain the weight back. Has anybody here been on a diet, lost the weight, and gained it back? Yeah, I think we can all say, right? And we've tried a lot of them. I don't know, which ones you've tried, that, the no carb, the low carb, the counting calories. I even heard somebody dropped in the comments just about 2 weeks ago, the tapeworm diet. I don't know, is that even a real thing? But yeah, crazy, right? I am actually going to share my screen here and bring up, I have a quick presentation that I'm going to give. And because we know that diets really don't work, I came up with Ditch the Diet. It happened because I was looking for a sustainable way to lose weight myself. I had been a yo-yo dieter my whole life. And I just knew that there had to be a better way. And what I was looking for was, I knew that I wanted to spend time with my husband in retirement, and I wanted to be there for my 2 grandchildren. And what had happened was I was running around the yard playing with these two. And after about 5 minutes, I was like, oh my gosh, like I was like winded, and I had to sit down, and I said, sorry, kiddos, but Grammy's got to sit down. And at that point, I realized I really need to do something different, right? And so it's when I really took a good look and discovered the power of something I call brain training, which is really mindset training. So, what I discovered is that when we, and we've talked about mindset on here already tonight, and how important it is to have our mental health right, and it's all tied together. I mean, there's not one answer to living a healthy life. We are holistic bodies, and it takes really understanding how it all works together, and really when it comes to living like a healthy lifestyle, living um, within a healthy weight range, it's really important to have that mindset in place. So brain training is just like, if you want to train your muscles, you need to work on them on a regular basis. Same with our mindset. We need to work on it regularly. You can't go to church once and say, okay, I'm saved for the rest of my life. Same thing here. Like, if we want to get our mind right, we need to work on it every single day, or at least most days, really, to get our mindset right. And then it's about clean eating, which I'll be honest with you, here in the US especially, it's hard to find clean eating. We are surrounded by fast food and all of the junk food. When you walk through the grocery aisles, there is so much highly processed foods, and they really are wreaking havoc on our health. And if you take a look at, I heard this interesting statistic the other day that if you were to grow a culture, grow some cells in a culture, right, in the laboratory, and 70% of them were not healthy, were taking medication, needed medication, gaining weight, not living a healthy life, you would think there's something wrong with that culture they're growing in, right? Well, look at us here in the US, 70% either overweight or obese. 70% of our adult population is on at least one medication. Now, we tend to think of that as normal aging. It is not normal aging. It is a result of the food that we're eating. It really is. And so when you can eliminate or significantly reduce those highly processed foods and just eat real food as it comes from nature. You might see that Dorito bag back there. That's to remind me, that's part of my mindset training, to remind me that I am stronger than that Dorito bag. So it sits here in my office every day as a reminder. And then joyful movement. Our bodies are meant to move. And if what you like is going to the gym and working out for an hour at a time, more power to you, but it doesn't have to be that intense. It's really just about getting out and moving our bodies. I want to talk about what mindset really is. And it's really how you look at things, how you view the world, how you look at yourself, how you look at others, how you look at your circumstances, right? And what does that have to do with eating? Absolutely everything. Because if you think about eating and thinking that, oh my gosh, you know what, healthy eating is just going to be boring, and it's going to be too hard to do, and it's going to, not taste good, that's going to make it pretty challenging for you. But if you have an open mind and you think, wow, I can learn to enjoy eating healthy foods. I can enjoy knowing that the foods that I'm eating are actually putting nutrition and energy into my body. Knowing that when you fill your body with just wholesome foods, you're going to feel more energized. You're going to feel You know, you're going to, besides needing less probiotics, because when you're eating whole foods, you're going to get a lot of those probiotics when you eat a variety of plant foods. But it just helps everything to be working better. And it doesn't mean that, oh, I can never have, you know, chocolate cake. I can never have pizza. That's the last thing I would want to do. I wouldn't want to live my life thinking that I could never have a piece of pizza again, right? But it's not the norm anymore. It's more the exception. When you have, you know, it is more like a treat. And I just love, I'm a plant-based eater. I promote eating, putting more plants on your plate, like really piling on the plants, because that's where we're going to get a lot of our nutrition, a lot of our fiber, keep us everything moving, right? But it's really about changing that mindset. And one of the things you can do is to, you know, find some affirmations that work with you. I nourish my body with wholesome, nutritious foods. That's on my refrigerator. You know, find some affirmations that are going to work for you. My body is my temple. I choose to honor it with nutritious, wholesome foods. And if you've ever used affirmations before, in business or just in life in general, you know that when you read them out loud, your mind will process it in a different way, and it just becomes a part of who you are. I like this one too. I'm becoming healthier and stronger with each nourishing choice I make. Mindful eating versus mindless eating. And this is really important too. When you're mindfully eating, it really means enjoying the whole experience of your meal, right? If you look at the woman here, she's, you know, got a nice plate of, you know, fresh fruits, vegetables, right? No screens, just really embracing the moment. It's really important to put the screens away if you want to really enjoy your meal and, you know, have good conversation, that kind of thing. You will slow down automatically. You just will. If you're really paying attention to how the food tastes and how it looks and all of that, as opposed to mindless eating, which I know we've all done, right? Sitting in front of the tube, watching a movie, watching sports with a big old bowl of chips or a bag of cookies or something. And before you know it, like that bag of chips is gone and you barely even tasted it, right? And because you're just not even thinking about it. So when we're more mindful when we eat, we can slow down, and then it also helps the brain to get that signal, because it takes about 20 minutes by the time your stomach feels like where it's full or satisfied, and it sends that signal up to your brain that, okay, you can stop now. So that's really, really helpful if you're just trying to eat for the nourishment and not just for that big old party in your mouth. If you're challenged with cooking, this is something that I am very passionate about. I like to cook whole food, fresh foods, and I work with a company that has clean seasonings, and it just, all of these meals here come together in like 20 or 30 minutes. There's no preservatives, no artificial colors, no artificial sweeteners, none of that kind of stuff. So if anybody has an interest and says, hey, I would like to know how to cook that way, let me know, get in touch with me, and I can help you out there. And movement, I want to talk about movement because, like I said, if you want to go to the gym and work out, and, you know, that's great, but not everybody is, you know, inclined to do that. But just getting out, taking a walk, especially if you have a dog, take your dog for a nice long walk. He or she will certainly appreciate that. Remember when we were kids and we could just dance, whether there was music playing or not, right? Kids just dance. Go ahead and put some music on and dance around the house. Maybe, you know, when you're doing your house cleaning, think of that as, you know, some of your movement time, and just really put a little extra vigor into it when you're, mopping and cleaning the windows and all that kind of stuff, right? Now, if you like to go to exercise class, it's a great way to remain social, water aerobics, that kind of stuff, riding bikes, whatever it is, just, make it a point to find some time every day to move. And if you're not moving much at all, start with like 10 minutes, and 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the afternoon, and you're on a good roll. What the ideal movement is, like 30 minutes 5 days a week, is a really good goal to have. And I know Jazzy was talking about, strength training and all of that, and I have now realized how important that is as we age. I too am 65, almost 66, and have come to realize that strength training and flexibility training is so, so important, and balance and all of that is so important, especially as we age, because our muscle does start to deteriorate, starts if we don't use it, just like, but you lose it if you don't use it, kind of thing, right? And it's so true. So, but if you're just starting, just think about, 10 minutes at a time to move in some fashion. I even, when I go to the grocery store, I always park far away now. And I was sharing that with someone not too long ago, and she's like, but Dara Lee, I love knowing that when I pull in that parking spot, I'm going to get the closest spot I can find. And I said, well, that's great, and if that's what you want to do, is make the least amount of steps, then continue to, park at the closest spot. But you can add, 4, 5, 600 extra steps just by parking further away in the parking lot, to get to the store. It's something that I do now all the time. The impact of movement on your physical health, of course, there's weight management, but cardiovascular health. One of the big reasons that as we age, we start seeing more decline in our cardiovascular health is because we're not making that heart pump and exercise, and, we're carrying around a lot of extra weight. I don't know if you have ever tried this, but pick up a 10-pound or 2 5-pound bags of sugar and walk around with them for a while. And you think about, that's an extra 10 pounds of weight that you're carrying around. And you'd be amazed at how heavy that feels. And, we're very often carrying around an extra 30, 40, whatever pounds, right? I've been able to lose 46 pounds. I've got another 20 to go, but I'm happy to say that I have not gained it back. And it's mostly because of this mental attitude. It's because I know by moving every day and by eating, cutting out the highly processed foods, I can keep the weight off. But it's really about that health. It's about wanting to live as healthfully as I can as I age. So again, the impact of physical health on your immune system, our lymphatic system is highly important for our immune system, and it does not have its own pump. The only way our lymphatic system works is through movement. And also, if you have trouble sleeping, try getting a little more movement in, and you will probably sleep better. And again, the mental health, this was talked about a couple of times tonight already, and it really, movement has a lot to do with reducing our stress. It has a lot to do with even our cognitive function. If you want to do, hi babe, if you want to do a like a big kind of project that you want to work on, if you just go out and do like a 10 or 15-minute movement activity, it's actually going to increase the blood flow, increase your creativity, your brain health, all of that. That's a really, really good thing to do before you want to sit down and do a lot of mental work, because it just makes a big difference. And what happens when we don't move? That's when we get muscle atrophy, bone density loss. Again, you think it's, a natural part of aging. It doesn't have to be, but you need to do a little bit of resistance, a little bit of weight training, but even the walking up and down stairs, a little bit of jumping kind of stuff will really help with that bone density. Joint stiffness, cardiovascular posture problem, all digestive issues is huge. If you're not moving and you're not eating enough fiber, you're likely going to have digestive issues, right? So move and groove is my motto for tonight. And if you are ready to harness the power of your mind for better health, jump on a phone call with me. I would love to chat with you. You can go to ditchsession.com. It just goes right to my calendar. And there's no, there's no high pressure sales or anything like that. I just want to sit down, ask you a few questions and see if I can help you tweak what you're doing just a little bit, because I honestly believe it's taking those little steps. It might just be helping you to reduce something that you're eating. I had a very good friend who was really drinking a lot of diet soda, and she knew that, diet soda was not good for her. And we were able to, through just some behavior modification things, start to reduce it a little bit at a time. And now this has been over a year now. She hasn't had any diet soda. She doesn't even have an urge for it anymore. So it's not about just cutting everything out altogether. It's about taking those little steps. If you want lasting results, that is the way to do it. And I don't know why my mouse is not working. Okay, there it is. I was like, where'd it go? All right. So thank you very much. And I hope I shared a few bits of wisdom for you. And I now get to introduce Patty. Patty is a nutritional genomics specialist. Okay, she's all about the genomes, and she understands how important our DNA is, and how what we do, both what we put in our bodies and what's happening outside our bodies, and how all of that is related. And I can begin to explain it. And that's why we have Patty here tonight to do that for us.
Okay. You guys are all so amazing. I can't wait to watch the recording of this, because there were so many nuggets given. I hope all of our guests and attendees have gathered some really good notes on how to keep your gut brain health and gut skin health strong through your aging process. I did do a PowerPoint presentation as well. I'm going to try to not keep it too long, because I know we're over time already. So let's go here, and I'm going to share this. Whoops, let me move my screen over. Okay, so what is nutritional genomics? Oops, nutritional genomics. Get back here. Short for nutrigenomics, and it's how food affects your genes. Did you know that all the food that you eat affects your genes in one way or another, especially if they're already damaged or mutated? They actually turn your genes on and off, as well as our environment around us. So foods do that too. What we talk about, I don't know if you can read all this. Let me move my thing. The gift of life. This is a gift of life. It's a DNA test kit, a nutritional genomics test kit. But the gift, it doesn't end with that. When you give that to someone, once they turn in the swabs, they get 4 reports back: a healthy aging report, a skincare report as to what your skin needs because of your DNA, a sports and fitness report. So who's been hurt, pulled ligaments, muscles, tendons, and they won't heal? It could be because you have a DNA issue, and it's going to let you know about it in this report. How about your weight management? You might, like me, have an MTHFR gene that you cannot eat nightshades, no potatoes, no tomatoes, no eggplant, no peppers, because that causes more inflammation in your body and and makes those joints hurt and swell until you can't move. It's just terrible. But once you learn what your genes are, you can take care of and start eating properly. So your DNA groupings, not every gene is in every part of our body. We've got heart genes, immune system genes, energy genes, detox, brain, and gut genes. But if you look down here, can you see a common denominator in all of these? This MTHFR. I'm not going to say it out loud, but it's a nasty gene. And you can see the color coding, and the color codings actually come in your report, on your aging report, telling you whether you have green for it's functioning optimally, a yellow where one of your strands is damaged. Your DNA has two strands, one from your mother, one from your father. If it's yellow, that means you've gotten a damaged strand from one of your parents. If you've got a red, both of those strands are damaged and you're at high risk. So that's what this is talking about. Have you considered DNA health? Because it provides an innovative and personalized sight into your genetic code. You are unique in your own way. Like each of us has different fingerprints or lip prints or our feet. Everything about you is different than the next person. So you can uncover how to have a customized plan of personally compounded supplements tailored specifically for you based on your DNA results. And this has saved my life in the past 4 years because I no longer have any arthritis pain. And I don't know if you can see my knuckles were so bad, joints. No more pain. It's all gone because I'm eating what I need to eat. So what are the outcomes one can expect if you follow a nutritional genomics results needed for your lifestyle change? And it is a lifestyle change. You have to change, as Dara and Laura and Jazzy have said. You need to exercise. You need to eat right. And you need to take care of your skin because it is the largest organ on our body. So with nutritional genomics, you get improved health and well-being by optimizing your nutritional absorption. You're getting reduced risk of chronic diseases. It can enhance your weight management where you're going to get better metabolism and sustained energy levels. Some other outcomes. How about balancing those hormones, ladies? Oh my gosh. So what it does, that MTHFR throws off our homocysteine levels. And if you're not feeding it properly, that's what's going to keep throwing our hormone levels off. So once you can get those balanced hormones, you're going to have improved mood and mental health, better sleep. So I'm going to ask a question here. How many of you know children or adults, with ADD, ADHD, or what's the other one kids are getting a lot of because of vaccines? Oh, lost it. Asperger's. That's all mostly an MTHFR issue. And if we just started feeding these kids better, getting the sugar out of their system, much of that would go away. How about a strengthened immune system? You can reduce that inflammation, as I just said, and increase your resilience. Enhance your physical and mental performance. I had a young man, 22 years old, in my husband's hometown. He was an avid soccer player. He went into college and he had to stop playing soccer because he had to have surgery that he kept tearing muscles. And I thought, and I'm like, you, number one, need a detox if you've had surgery because you're not detoxing properly. And number two, we need to see what else is going on while your muscles aren't healing. Once he did the test and he read that sports and fitness result, he started on our supplement, and within 6 months, he was back to full-time playing soccer for college. That warmed my heart almost more than anything. The next thing besides optimized exercise plans is knowing if you have a genetic predisposition, which is going to also stop you from doing things. But I'm going to take another step back. The genes that we particularly test for are called actionable genes. And anybody know what an actionable gene is?
No.
So actionable genes can be helped. I don't want to say, reversed. No, I'm not going to say repaired, but reversed with the right nutrition to help repair that gene or reverse the damage to the gene. So that's more about the optimized nutrition. Then we have our cognitive health. And we all know once we get that gut-brain connection, as Jazzy said, the rest of it's all going to come together. We need to feed our gut to feed our brain properly. Healthy aging, longevity and vitality. Carolyn is 79 years old. I'm 66 years old. The rest of us are in our 60s. We still have a long life to live. So we want to stay the healthiest that we can. I don't know about our guests, but I'm sure probably you're in your 50s or 60s or as well. So I'm talking to you too. Skin and joint health, I've already touched on. Like, you know, arthritis is such a big thing. But jump back up here to cognitivity. The Alzheimer's, the dementia, all the cognitive issues that are happening. It's all from the foods we're eating. The sugars, they got to go out of our system. Okay. Oh, sorry. As I said, sugar, it beeped at me. Sorry about that. 5 years ago, ladies, I had a Tdap vaccine that made me a type 1 diabetic. It killed my pancreas. I've been fighting my type 1 diabetes for the past 4.5 years. I am on a mission to find out how to repair my pancreas and help heal all of my type 1 diabetics. And one of the last seminars I sat in on said, parasites are causing diabetes. That's all I can say right now. That's what came out. So now I am on a parasite cleanse. And I also, let me ask, has anybody heard of biohacking? Raise a hand, biohacking. So biohacking includes getting tested for frequency healing. Have you heard of frequency healing? I went to a gentleman who is in Orlando. That's his game plan. And Carolyn went with me. He biohacked, tested us, scanned us from our brains down to our toes, and found all the genes that had symptomatic issues. I had 21 pages of symptomatic issues, including strep, including parasites, including so many things. I know now that there's over 1 million high-low frequency healings that can be done with frequency. He's just one of the people that do it. There's healing machines out there. There's beamer machines. There's plenty of help out there. Go have a bioscan done if you can, and just see what's going on from head to toe with you, or start here. Anyway, addressing your genetic weakness is, again, one of the preventions of your nutrient deficiencies. You may have a VDR gene that your vitamin can't absorb vitamin D properly. You may have a B12 FUT2 issue that your B12 cannot convert properly to be absorbed. So it has to be a methylated B12. The same with the MTHFR. If you've got that gene, that's a folate issue. And you need a methylated folate to be absorbed to create all the enzymes your body needs to function and help your mitochondria. I'm going to jump back another 29 years. When Tim and I got married, I had 3 miscarriages, well, 2 miscarriages and a tubal pregnancy. It wasn't until I did my testing to find that I had a double copy of the MTHFR, which causes miscarriages, tubal pregnancies, birth defects. The problem was why we had those losses. It wasn't just me. Tim also has a double copy of an MTHFR, but a different one than I have. So we would have never had children. So if you know anybody who's having problems with pregnancy loss, have them get their MTHFR checked. Okay, next. Where's my little mouse? Did you know that DNA, when your DNA is mutated or damaged, it can lead to changes in the function of your gene, which may impact your health and functioning of your body. So your gene function changes, your cellular function changes, your hereditary effects change. That sperm, that egg get passed on to your generations. So if you've got a 1 or a 2 on your test, more than likely your children do as well. How does DNA damage happen? Environmental factors. Carolyn had kind of mentioned that. Cleanse your face every night before you go to bed to get rid of those environmental factors off of your skin. You want it clean. You want it, before you lay that face on a pillow, you want a clean face on that pillow. Exposure to radiation, sun rays, they all cause breaks in your DNA strands. Chemicals, tobacco, pesticides, industrial pollutants. You can end up with damage. Sorry. And then of course the free radicals, if you haven't heard of them, there's just things that float around and really get into our cells and tear them apart and damage them. So lifestyle factors, poor diet. Here we go again with diet, the whole thing about our lesson tonight from all of our speakers. If you have a poor diet, you're lacking the essential nutrients like antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals that can impair your body's ability to repair your damage. Smoking and alcohol. People say, oh, 1 or 2 isn't going to kill me. No, it's not going to kill you, but it can cause substantial damage to your DNA and make you age faster. Lack of physical activity. Physical activity can lead to increased oxidative stress and reduced DNA repair. Biological factors, replication problems occur when your genes replicate. They don't just replicate clean and soft edges. They duplicate and replicate damaged and rough edged. Viral infections can integrate into the genetic materials and cause host problems, causing mutations and disruptions as well. Aging, we're all aging, and that's a natural thing. But if we can help repair our diminished DNA, it's going to help get rid of those age-related diseases. Let me see. I already did that. Okay. I'm almost done, guys. Sorry. Whoops. Oh, go away. Body defense mechanism. Your body has several mechanisms to repair DNA damage. Your DNA repair enzymes, these detect and repair damaged DNA strands. Apoptosis, Apoptosis damaged cells may undergo programmed cell death to prevent the spread of faulty DNA. And that's something that biohacking and the frequency healing is doing. It's killing the bad cells, helping them, especially cancer cells, to just die off and leave your body. And then you have your cell cycle checkpoints, and our cells recycle themselves every 90 to 120 days. So if you're having blood work done every 90 to 120 days, you can tell if you're eating better and taking care of your skin and your body, if your blood work is better. Back in April, I produced and created this book, or authored this book, The DNA Advantage. It is available on Amazon and Kindle, and now, and I put it on sale for you guys, and I'm going to put the link in the Facebook group if you want it. It's for sale for $11 through my Ingram Spark. But I also last month had it put out on Audible if you prefer Audible, and I'll put this link out there too. So let me go back. How do I stop my share? Hopefully we haven't lost him. We still have 3 people with us. Does anybody have any questions? You can either, I can let you chat, ask to unmute. Everybody can unmute if you'd like and ask a question if you'd like.
I just wanted to ask Carolyn, if when you put the oil on your face, I saw you going over your eye and all that. It doesn't sting your eye?
No, and
Yeah,
I'm
people
very
just like,
sensitive.
because I was thinking it would like, oh, if it's a cleanser, it would probably sting my eye, but
It didn't, never has, even
Okay.
after I had my surgeries and stuff. And I love it because I have very sensitive skin.
yeah, I do
So with
too.
these
And a
essential
little
oils.
rosacea here too. So I always am like, oh, is it a really strong product, or, so that it's gentle enough to put it on your eye, then
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if you heard her, Laura. She had eye lift on both eyes. So those essential oils in that purifying cleanser helps to heal where she had the cuttings done on her eyelids. And the calming gel would really help the rosacea.
Mhm.
Anyone else? I'm sorry. No other questions?
Is Lita still in there?
No. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close this up if nobody else has any questions. I really appreciate everyone for all the time and effort that you have put into this webinar. I know it was my brainstorm, but oh my gosh, I gained so much knowledge and so much appreciation for each and every one of you on there. So I will go ahead and stop this recording. I will put it out into our Facebook group tomorrow. And I hope that we can do this again without any of the kinks that we had. I'll get a little bit smarter and we can all get a little
I
bit
will.
better at the Zoom stuff.
Right.
So thank you all. And we'll see you around
Thank
our
you.
social media.
Yep. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Guys.
Bye.
Is it off, Patty? I thought we were going